Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Scammers have it easier than ever. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. In the digital age, they can send you emails, phone calls, and even letters to your home, trying to confuse you and entice you into going away from your money.
So how can you tell the difference between a scam and a legitimate debt collector? Valley News Team's Macy Enger sifted through one of Fargo man's debts to uncover the answer.
It looked like any other letter, but it's what Ralph Matheson found inside that caused him to worry. A bill from a debt collecting company that said he owed money to CenturyLink.
I started checking my bills and you know, I was all paid up. And I went out to West Acre, CenturyLink, and they called around and they said I'm all paid up. I figured it must be a scam.
Matheson and I called Enhanced Recovery Company, who sent the bill. The representative told us it would be handled as a fraudulent account and that someone had used Matheson's information for this charge.
I was going to pay it.
Here's the problem when you try to get to the bottom of the scam. The company may call the debt collector and they may say to call the police. Then, are you confused yet? Most people are.
Well, I think right away, a good debt collector, someone who's abiding by the rules, will not pressure you. They will be informative. They'll answer your questions. And then within 5 days of being contacted, they have to provide you with a written notice outlining the debt and giving you a chance to respond to it.
That gives the company time to see if a mistake has been made.
If they tell you you've got to make a payment right now, that's a bad sign. It's in all likelihood you're talking to a scammer, and hang up the phone and say, or before you hang up the phone, say, send me a bill, and go from there.
A CenturyLink representative says the company will never call directly to ask for bank account information, your social, or your home address. If this happens, they consider it a red flag.
I mean, the bottom line is, I think the consumer did the right thing here.
Well, maybe I helped somebody else out.
Both the BBB and CenturyLink suggest going to the source if you believe something isn't right. Macy Enger, Valley News Live.
And you should also use the Better Business Bureau's website to see if the company is legitimate. We have that link on our website, as well as the number to call for CenturyLink's customer service. Head to valleynewslive.com and then click on this story.
Here's a scam, this one aimed at Wells Fargo customers. A viewer called our whistleblower hotline explaining he got an email saying his overdraft protection has been used. The email directed him to call a phone number. He called the bank instead to learn that it was a scammer. If you get a similar email, call your bank's fraud department right away. If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576. Do so and leave your tip.
We have a developing story now. A family is without a home tonight after smoke and fire ravaged their trailer home in Moorhead. The fire started around 7:30 tonight at 100 Queen Street. 2 people and their dog were home at the time. They were able to get out without injuries, and when firefighters arrived, flames were visible shooting out from underneath the home. Firefighters were able to put out the fire, but there's significant smoke, fire, and water damage. Crews still aren't exactly sure, though, what caused this fire. Tonight, Valley News Live got an exclusive sneak peek at the 2014 Fargo Crime Stat reports. Now, Chief David Todd was on 630 Point of View earlier tonight and gave us a few stats ahead of the release tomorrow morning. He says when all the felony crimes and misdemeanors were put together, crime is only up by about 1%. However, there was one thing on the rise.
One particular area that you saw the greatest jump in?
You know, when the ones that we're concerned about, I would say we're concerned about theft of vehicles, which you guys recently did a story on. So that's one area that we're concerned about. And we saw, let me see, I got that here, a 44% increase in vehicle thefts this last year.
Now, the full crime report is set to be released tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we'll have much more for you tomorrow on Valley News Live and, of course, on valleynewslive.com.
The apparent success of surveillance cameras in downtown Fargo is prompting the community partnership to ask if more are needed. The survey will be done to get input on the possible expansion of cameras. A few have been in place downtown for a couple of years, and based on crime stats, they have led to public intoxication, panhandling, and property damage arrests. If you take a look at this map, a possible 6 new cameras will be added. Results of the survey will be used to determine if an official request should be made on behalf of the City Commission to expand the downtown surveillance camera system. You can find a link to this survey on valleynewslive.com. Just click on the survey and will close on Tuesday, March the 3rd.
A lot of people are affected by the Federal Trade Commission's decision on net neutrality. Net neutrality means that your internet provider should be fair or neutral with the speed that it gives you. The FCC believes new rules are necessary to keep the internet running without any slowdowns for customers.
I think the biggest thing is that it's not going to affect you, that the rules that came out today are saying let's leave it essentially the same way that it is now.
According to the FCC, the new rules mean that cable and wireless companies that provide access to the internet can't block legal content, no throttling back of the speed or legal content, and no prioritizing content speed for money.
Advocates for the use of the drug called Narcan that helps save drug users in an overdose say the state of Minnesota needs to do more to make the drug effective. Steve's Law allows first responders to administer that drug.
And the law also grants immunity to those who call 911, and doctors can even prescribe the drug to people. But months after this law went into effect in Minnesota, some believe efforts are falling short. Jay Olmstead reports.
Give this drug and then 2 minutes later you've got somebody talking to you.
We've reported on the success stories. Now advocates of the drug naloxone want to see more of them.
We are seeing that very few agencies have implemented the law.
Lexi Reed Holtum is talking about Steve's Law, which her organization, the Steve Rumler Hope Foundation, helped pass last year. It allows first responders to administer naloxone, also known as Narcan, to people overdosing on heroin.
They don't have the tools and resources that they need within their agency to go ahead and implement the law.
Reed Holtum suspects just a fraction of the 30,000 first responders in the state even know about the law, let alone carry the drug. Cost is one of the factors.
The pricing on naloxone has vastly increased.
That's why she's pushing legislators at the Capitol to do more.
This is one that I want to help champion.
One of those legislators, State Representative Dave Baker, is on board, working to pass legislation this session that will help first responders pay for Narcan.
So our very first responders need to have this.
Baker says the drug could have saved his son, Dan, who died 4 years ago next month from a heroin overdose after getting hooked on pain pills.
If he would have been able to get to the hospital quicker, we would have been able to give him this Narcan drug that would have completely reversed the effects of the overdose.
That's why he and others are hopeful legislators will support this bill, like they supported the one last year, before time runs out for someone else.
Our fight now is for the others.
North Dakota state senators did pass 2 similar bills in January.
Fargo's new bike share program expects to be rolling next month. Now that tech problems have been cleared up, the company behind the bike rental stations needed to implement new equipment to allow NDSU students to swipe their Bison cards.
It'll boost their spirits, and I think also kind of plants a seed in their mind as to how they could incorporate bike usage into their daily life.
A large portion of the funding comes from the North Dakota State University student government, that they get the money from the student activity fees. A former North Dakota Teacher of the Year
is asking a judge for more access to certain evidence in his upcoming trial. Aaron Knodel says he's not guilty of having a sexual relationship with a student back in 2009. The judge says the defense has the same access to the victim's medical records as the state has. But Knodel's lawyer wants more, claiming the accuser had a prior mental health issue, a move the prosecution is fighting.
Should not, for this victim and for any other victim that's thinking about disclosing the kind of crime that were alleged in this case, should not subject the victim to exposing all of their medical and psychiatric records.
The judge took the arguments under advisement and is expected to make a decision next week.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, well, more of the same news weather-wise. We've talked a lot about cold air, and it looks like it's going to continue, but we do have some good news for those waiting for a little warm-up as well.
Count me in.
Yeah. Outdoors tonight, though, bundle up and make sure that you put an extra blanket on the bed. We're talking already below zero in Fargo-Moorhead. When we drop below zero, it doesn't take much wind to drive those wind chills down there to dangerous levels. It feels like about 20 below zero right now in the FM area. Out to the west, we have 8 below for an actual air temperature in Jamestown. Oaks, you have 4 below zero. It's warm. A warm 0 in Roseau this hour, 7 below Bemidji, 2 below in Fergus Falls, where you see these whiter colors, actually the milder temperatures. Then as we factor in the winds, it's cold, 18 below as mentioned here in Fargo, 21 below your wind chill in the Grand Forks area. And look at out in Valley City, feeling like 20 below on exposed skin. So another night of dangerous wind chills as the temperatures continue to succumb thanks to west and northwest winds pulling that Canadian air our way, and the snow fields helping to generate some more of that cold air in the overnight hours. Snow out in the Rocky Mountains of the southern United States, also just a little bit making its way through the Appalachians. Here is a look, though, at our forecast through the overnight. Mostly clear skies, wind from the west, and temperatures that will be diving down overnight and then rising a little bit at sunrise or just after. So our low temperatures will be before we get up and head off to work and school. But look once again at these dangerous wind chills for that morning bus ride. I expect them to be down in the 30s below for many of us. And low temperatures out in portions of northwest Minnesota once again be very close to 20 or 25 below in places. So just another brutal cold start to our day. South winds tomorrow, that's a good sign. That usually helps to warm things up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. By our lunch hour, we'll have wind chills that will allow those kids to get out at recess and blow off just a little bit of steam after many schools, keeping them indoors because of the brutal wind chills the past couple of days. 10 in your lunch hour for Babe the Blue Ox in Bemidji. Afternoon temperatures rising into the mid-teens for many of us. And then tomorrow evening will be cool, but not nearly the bone-chilling cold that we've had the last several mornings. There's your wind chill advisory, mainly the eastern half of North Dakota, westernmost portions of Minnesota out there. And really, we're not expecting a lot of overnight wind, but it's these temperatures as we go through the overnight hours in the teens below zero. Again, just a little bit of wind makes it dangerous. Make sure you have the survival kit in the back of your vehicle, and then take a look at this. After sunrise, temperatures go whoop, rising, and the sun will feel nice tomorrow. And the wind, well, it won't be too strong, generally around 10 miles per hour as we enjoy temperatures in the teens as you're heading off to your wrestling tournament, as you're heading off to the basketball games tomorrow night, or hockey. Lots of hockey. Afternoon planner. Temperatures on your way to the good old hockey game will be in the teens, so there'll be good ice. Even at the outdoor rinks, get out and do a little skating like Mike Morkin. 23 degrees on Saturday. And then we say we're going to close out the month of February, head into March. Again, we talked about this earlier, but it's not really going to be like a lamb. It's not really going to be like a lion, so I called it a hyena. Kind of in between there. We enjoy 30 on Monday, but then it's right back into the ice box with the good old chilly down arrow on Tuesday.
I don't see anything lambish about a hyena, but we can talk about that later.
Exactly.
We can we can discuss that later.
There.
They can be pretty nice, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I saw them in a movie once.
Really?
Cartoon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Still to come tonight, how Facebook is making changes to identify and help people who are struggling and might harm themselves.
But first, why it's so important to buy the right kind of shoes for working out.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News